Our goal is to make Ghana the mining hub of Africa.
Making Ghana Africa's mining hub. That is a bold and ambitious agenda, but one that Honorable Samuel JINAPOR, MP for Damongo and Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, and his team are determined to achieve. He is leading a high-powered delegation to the Australian state of Perth. This is a charm offensive to woo investors as part of efforts to realize the ambition of making Ghana Africa's mining destination. The 2022 Africa Down Under Conference, organized by PayDirt, offered the perfect opportunity to put Ghana's mining industry on the international stage.
Please join me in welcoming His Excellency Samuel JINAPOR. Thank you.
The priority of the government of Ghana, however, continues to be the translation of these volumes of minerals production into wealth to benefit all stakeholders equitably, including the larger populace, as optimally as possible. Government is therefore mindful of the need to implement mining-friendly policies to sustain these achievements whilst ensuring environmental sustainability and protecting the interests of citizens and investors alike. Fortunately and significantly, in Ghana, the rule of law is the norm, not the exception. It is the pivot around which our governance architecture revolves. With a stable democratic culture spanning over 30 years, peaceful elections and successful change of governments from one political party to another, investors are assured of the protection of their rights, regardless of the outcome of national elections. Our respect for the rule of law has earned us the enviable title of, quote, the beacon of democracy in Africa, end quote.
The minister directly engaged with investors and, true to his word, fielded questions. This special Ghana event at the UMA premises of the Pan Pacific Hotel in Perth was oversubscribed. Many were curious to hear more after listening to the minister's sales pitch when he delivered his main address to the conference.
Minister, may I start with you? It was, you laid out a number of reasons that Ghana has been able to pursue an expansion of its mining industry of late. But during this conference, we've seen many presentations from different African countries at different stages of their mining industry development. Many of them say, well, you should come to our country to be a first mover advantage. There's lots of potential. It's under-drilled. It's undermined. Everything's out there ready to come and for the first movers there. Ghana's a very different situation, a very mature mining industry. And often I hear from investors, oh no, everything's tied up in Ghana. It's too mature a sector. But what are the advantages that Ghana has for being a mature sector? How does that place Ghana in an advantage position?
Well, thank you very much. Clearly, the premise and the thrust of your question somehow answers the question itself, which is that the Ghana is a mature mining destination. I want to believe that when investors are making decisions as to where they should place their dollar, the question of maturity will count. And really, I'm not saying this because I'm the minister responsible for mining in Ghana, but it's really because you want to go to a country and a place where a lot of the regulatory, institutional, and if I may add, even legal and policy frameworks are quite entrenched and tested.
The meeting with Cassius Mining Limited was forthright, but highly fruitful. Cassius had alleged that another mining firm, Shanzi, had trespassed on its concession and was suing Ghana for doing nothing to stop it. In the end, there was a joint statement with both sides committing to further engagements to find an amicable solution.
We want to pivot Ghana as a mining hub of Africa, where all the various linkages of mining takes place. And therefore, I had to have this meeting with Cassius because of the very serious nature of the allegations which have been made. And I should say that we had a very good meeting, very productive meeting. We've issued a statement arising out of that meeting, committing to dialogue a lot more and further engage with a view of achieving an amicable resolution of the issues in controversy. And I think that is a major first step that, we've had the opportunity to sit around the table, we've put the cards on the table, and we've been able to come to that conclusion that we should engage. I think that in itself is a major step forward.
The meeting with Cassius Mining Limited was just one of many extremely fruitful discussions the minister engaged in on the sidelines of the conference, with a long queue of investors, including the team from Atlantic Lithium Limited, led by their Chief Executive Officer, Leonard Koff. The Ghanaian delegation also met executives from Cardinal Namdindi, led by its investor director, Shenzan. There was also the team from Azuma Resources Limited. The minister and his delegation also met with executives from Digital Earth Africa and Geoscience. There were even bilateral talks between Ghana and Australia, considering Australia's significant contribution to Ghana's mining industry. The Australian High Commissioner to Ghana, Her Excellency Berenice Owen Jones, led the Australian delegation. Mr. JINAPOR and his delegation then met with the Ghanaian community in Perth. Here too, the agenda was consistent. The Ghanaian diaspora in Australia, with skills and competence in the mining sector, were encouraged to return home and deploy their skills in aid of the march towards making Ghana Africa's mining hub. The march towards making Ghana Africa's mining hub will continue. But for now, this Australian charm offensive has proven to be a very critical step towards achieving that goal. It is no surprise Mr. JINAPOR is happy with the work done here.
The organization has been solid, and therefore it creates a really good platform for us and for my purposes and for that of our country, Ghana, to tell our story and put our industry on the front line and sell the positive points about the Ghanaian mining industry. I think by and large that is how I see it. I have no regrets for coming. I think it's been very useful. And as we do all the time when we go for these conferences, we're going to have a small team which will follow up and look and make sure that we have tangible deliverables for the country and for our national economy, and for that matter, for the mining sector of our country.